Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Sarah of Horror and I review movies and do film commentary and some other fun videos. I don't only review horror films as my channel name would suggest. I review every type of movie, but mostly horror. But yeah. So today we have a special themed episode just for you, and it's a director Xavier Gens special. I will be reviewing 3 of his movies, and one of his movies is a movie that a lot of people are talking about, especially this week. And I'm of course talking about the movie Under Paris. So Under Paris, it's from 2024. It's directed by, well, obviously Xavier Gens. It's starring Bernice Bayo, Nassim Lies, Leah Leviant, Sandra Parfait, among a lot of people. One, we have this scientist, Sophia. She has a past trauma dealing with the environment and sharks. And to be able to save Paris, she has to kind of get through her trauma because it has been recently discovered that a huge shark is in the town Seine. So this movie was just released on Netflix a few days ago, and yeah, I saw it as soon as it came on Netflix. I had been looking forward to it. I really love shark movies, and sharks are my favorite animals. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to be in the water with a shark, but I don't mind looking at shark movies, shark documentaries, and I think they are magnificent creatures. So I was super excited, new shark movie, and I was very looking forward to what would a shark film from Xavier look like, because he has done a lot of different types of feature films. Like all of them are kind of different styled, and none of his movies are kind of the same. So I was really curious, how would he make a shark movie? And I got my answer. This starts with a very kind of beautiful scene with a lot of divers and who really care about the environment and things that are being thrown in the ocean, showing you the problems and highlighting the climate issues that we're dealing with. But we also get to know Sophia and some of her co-workers, and then we also get introduced to the sharks. And I think the intro scene is quite gorgeously shot. Really clear, really beautiful. And I really felt for Sophia. So, I kind of cared for her right from the beginning, which is, very important. But then kind of move fast forward a bit, and we are then, alarmed to this situation that is going on in Seine. And yeah, I have to say that a lot of the things that were happening in the film were kind of expected. The script kind of takes a turn in a non-expected way, so to speak. Like, you can probably figure out where this is gonna go. And even though it was like, oh, I kind of recognize this. Yeah, I've seen this many times before. It was still kind of done in a fun and creative way. But yeah, of course, there were a lot of cliches used, which I kind of wished that Xavier would not have done, because it kind of brought down the grade and just the feeling and atmosphere of the film in general. I wanted maybe something more kind of original, yeah, more original script. But also I did like the whole kind of climate aspect of things. So there were a lot of really, really good and fun scenes. Like what a lot of people might complain about also is that this movie, the first half is kind of a slow burn. It builds up kind of slowly after the intro scene, and I found myself being like, okay, but when, when do we see the action? I need to see more sharks. When are we gonna get that? And that then we kind of got it. Like the second half of the film, I have to say, really picked up the pace and is a lot better than the first half of the film. Like there was an amazing scene in the catacombs where the tension. I mean, you could just hear a pin drop. It was that tense, and I was hoping, even though I kind of figured out what would happen, I was kind of hoping that would happen, and then that did happen, and yeah, it was just like executed in such a good way. So I didn't mind that I could figure it out beforehand. I did really enjoy that scene. Also, we have a lot of like cliche characters. Like, why does every shark movie have a mayor who cares more about money than people's lives? Like in every movie. Like they're like, please, we have to shut this down to save people. She or he is like, nope, we ain't doing that. But it's like, come on, just do it. Sit down and show everyone that you care about your people. But no, the mayor in almost every shark movie has to be very, very greedy and selfish. And be like, our security is on point, so nothing will happen. But we have to have this marathon, this race, or whatever the situation is that brings in a lot of money for that specific town each year. So yeah, that felt very, very super cliche, and it was like you could figure out how this movie, and you can also kind of figure out where this movie would go, in which direction. But yeah, I also have to say that I did really like the ending. Like the whole 15-20 last minutes, I thought were really good. And the movie kind of ended in a kind of specific tone, which I liked. I liked those end shots and just the very like different feeling that I didn't think would end this film. Like the ending shots I thought would be a bit different, but I'm glad that they weren't, because I much prefer an ending like this one to any other ending that they could have come up with, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I'm super happy that we got a new shark movie. Shark Month is coming up. That's usually July. And we needed a new shark movie. There have been like a few released here and there during this year. I think this one was one of my biggest anticipations for this year. And it's like an amazing shark movie that I would be like, oh, everyone has to watch this. Probably not. But was it better than I expected it to be? Yeah, a bit better. Mainly because it's Xavier Gens. And I really like him as a director, so that was probably the main reason why I wanted to see this. So, how does Under Paris stand against his other movies, which I will talk about in this episode? To say that Under Paris is definitely not his best or finest work, it's still good enough. It is entertaining enough. How many shark bites will this movie get from me? I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. Yeah, so a 6 out of 10. Yeah, it is an okay shark film. Good for the moment. There are some entertaining scenes. So I do recommend you all watching it on Netflix if you have nothing else to do and if you're a big fan of shark movies and of Xavier Gens movies. Yeah, so let's move on to the next Gens film. Okay, so the next film directed by Xavier Gens is actually a film called Farang. Yeah, so Farang is a film that I got the chance to watch at Fright Fest last year in August 2023 when I was there. And I had no idea about Farang or what it was, but when I heard, that it was made by Xavier Jens, I was super stoked. I heard it was gonna be very violent, so I was super stoked. And yeah, I mean, let's get down to the technical details. From 2023, obviously directed by Xavier Jens, starring Nassim Lies, same guy from Under Paris, Lauren Nune, Olivier Gourmet, Shanantika Chaipa, Vithaya Panseringman. Okay, so in this one we have this guy called Sam. He is being released from prison, just freshly released, and because of some old things from his past, he has to flee. He has to basically flee the country and just try to start over. So he tries to start over in Thailand. Yeah, meet someone, starts a family. I mean, he does pretty well for himself. But then one day, a local gangster or crime boss guy unfortunately attacks his family, and then Sam has to do everything he can to get revenge. I mean, this sounds like a kinda typical revenge movie plot, which it is. But when I watch this film, what makes this film really stand out? Firstly, the performances. As I said, from Nassim, he's both in this one and Under Paris. He is a really good actor, but I think he really shines in this one as Sam. His just range of emotions, of expressions, just understanding really what his character wants and means in every scene is just really special and like kind of beautiful to see. But I think all actors do a really good job, but he really shines in this one. And he and some of from the crew, they were actually at Fright Fest. Yeah, so we got to see them. That was pretty cool. And I think unfortunately he kind of had an accident, so he was there on crutches. But yeah, hopefully he's doing better today. But yeah, Farang. So I heard, the name Farang, that word a lot. It's a Thai word meaning a person that's kind of from Western or European origin. You can really feel Sam's pain throughout this entire film. That is what he's working from, the feeling of pain, like not just from the attack of his family, but mostly due from his entire life, because we get to see him like when he goes to prison after, and we do kind of understand him and feel for him. He's trying to make a better life for himself, to leave the criminal life behind. And then when this awful thing just happens, he has to go right back into that, revenge mindset and crime mindset. And yeah, but this time we're kind of buying it. We're like, yeah, of course, he's gonna get revenge on this awful thing that happened. No questions asked. And also just the fighting scenes in this movie, they were so beautifully choreographed. I couldn't take my mind off it. I wanted to see more. Like when one sequence ended, I was like, please just give me another and another and another. And they were both like beautifully choreographed. You could see that these people, they have mixed martial arts backgrounds, and just the violence is intense. It's on a whole nother level. Yeah, like pair the violence together with the choreography. Those scenes are so hard to forget. They stand out. I mean, we have an amazing elevator scene in this film, like one of many amazing scenes. But the elevator scene, that was something else. That was just pure enjoyment in weird ways. Yeah, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what I mean. I came up with the choreography, and just because I know that they spend a lot of time rehearsing those scenes, which shows because they are effortless. flawless. Plus the blood, it's bloody. You have to, the gore, I mean, it's ah, those scenes must have taken quite a while. And no, I don't remember every, because he did a Q&A after the film, and they were talking about this, how long it took and stuff like that. But that, just now, I can't remember it. I mean, it was in August, so just my mind was blown by all the action sequences in this film. Yes. If you love like brutal drama films, like raw drama movies with violence in them, lots of gorgeous, like martial arts style choreography, but it's very brutal and like raw, then this movie is definitely for you. And I recommend this to everyone actually, because there's a little bits of everything here and there. I mean, we get this drama movie, and we get lots of violence, gore, lots of blood, gets, lots of martial arts, lots of action, and we have a revenge story, amazing actors. So I mean, we do get the best parts of everything. What will this movie get from me? I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I mean, I really enjoyed Farang. It was one of my favorite movies from Fright Fest last year. And I was talking about it with everyone that I came across. I was like, whenever someone asked, which movies were your favorite from the festival this year so far, I was like, definitely Farang, one of them. Definitely. Go and check it out. Yeah. So if you haven't seen Farang and you get a chance to watch it, please do. Let's move on to movie number 3. Okay, so this one is for all of you gore lovers. It's actually the first film that I saw from Xavier Jans. Yeah, way back, and which made me fall in love with his movies basically, and really wanted me to watch more of him as a director. I'm of course talking about one of the new French wave gore movies that happened, and it's Frontiers. Frontiers. It's from 2007. Yeah, directed by Xavier Jans. It's starring Karina Testa, Ariellen Wisk, Patrick Ligardis, Samuel Le Bihan, among a lot of characters in this one. This one we have this main character called Jasmine. She is 3 months pregnant, but she doesn't really want to be pregnant. And there is a lot of like riots and uncertainties going on in Paris at that time. So her ex-boyfriend Alex, and her brother and 2 other friends, they escape the riots because it's very dangerous. So they escape the riots, and then they end up in a like hotel, motel, some sort of home where guests can come. And unfortunately, that place is run by neo-Nazis. So, as I said, this was one of the new French gore wave movies that came in like the mid-2000s ish, like give or take a few years here and there. We had Switchblade Romance, we had Inside, we had Maléfique, we had just a lot of French movies that were quite brutal, like French brutal horror movies that came during this era. Here's was one of them. So I think I bought this on DVD without even knowing what it was. I was like, the cover looks cool. I can see that it's gonna be brutal, so I bought it and I saw it and I was like, yeah, yes, this is it. Like, this is what it's about. Just the plot is very, very interesting, and you know that there's going to be so much conflict. It's going to be, you can already sense like from the beginning, like how the brutalities on the streets from the beginning. You can tell that this is not going to be an easy film to watch for almost 2 hours. Everything is gonna be a struggle, and it sure is. Like, every character in that runs that home, very shady, very evil, very just, yeah, not people you wanna, you know, be around with. Yeah, I have to say that the gore scenes, amazing. Like we have so many graphic, like such good effects in this one. Specifically, one Achilles heel scene in a barn. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That scene, oof, oof. That was hard to watch. You know, it was because just looked very good. Plus, the sounds they have, the really good sounds that just enhanced everything. And I think the actors, they all performed very believable. And oh, my cat, if you hear anything, that's my cat. She's back. Abby's back. And we just have a lot of creative gore in this one. We have someone being cooked in a boiler pressure oven thing. Even know what it's called. But yeah, you see the effects after each blow or something. It's just very good. And I mean, of course, this style of film is kind of reminiscent of, you know, Hostel, the torture porn movies from the same era, kinda. The woman playing Jasmine, I mean, she did an amazing job. And there's a scene like where she's forced to have like a haircut, and you can see something like breaking in her. I mean, having your haircut is not like the worst thing that happens to a character in this film, but it does mean a lot. Like it's a symbol of something. Like, you know, your hair, at least for me, like means a lot, and to being forced to have it cut would be really awful. But if the alternative is, you know, dying, then, you know, yeah, then, you know, cut my hair, shave my hair. Of course, yeah, no problem. But yeah, just that scene, you see, you know, tears coming, and you see that something in her is breaking. And I just found that scene in detail to be very beautiful, but also kind of hard to watch. You know, with these movies that came in these French new wave gore movies, um, you you can or you could never tell how a film was gonna end, because a lot of them ended like in misery. You couldn't sit there and be like, well, at least, you know, we know she gonna make it, or the main character is gonna make it. Yeah, no, he gonna be happy, and at least, you know, that they will survive. Because a lot of times that was not the case. You know, everything was miserable, and then everything got more miserable, basically, which I really like. I like that not every horror movie has, you know, a Hollywood, you know, happy ending. I'm all about the bad endings. Yeah. You know, not gonna say how this one ends, but I could, you know, we get to see the main character struggle a lot. She has a lot of obstacles to go through, like all the characters has, but I mean, she just has an extra amount of obstacles. I like the music in this one, especially like the song, the end song, which I listen to a lot, and it's a great song. I like the kind of color palette in this film, kind of yellowish, brownish. Kind of feels a bit dirtyish and a bit hostile like their color palette. And I think it fitted the film really well. This movie was banned in Thailand for its violence, but I mean, it is quite violent. It is. Not the most violent among these new French wave gore movies that came out. Like Martyrs was way gorier and just more awful, but not awful in a negative way, just more stressful to sit through, because that was intense. But yeah, but this one also quite intense. But we do get some short like breathing breaks, like, okay, yes, that was off, that was horrible to sit through, but we can take a breather. They have gotten a break. And yeah, in Martyrs it was like, where is that break? When is that small break coming? No break. Oh damn. Okay. But yeah, I ever since, those movies came out, I've been fascinated like with all of those. And every time a gory French movie was coming out, ah I was so excited. And like Among the Living, oof, super excited for that one. And there have been a lot of more gory French movies that have come out. And maybe I'll do a special on them. Maybe I should. I think I reviewed a high tension switchblade romance on this one. I think I have. Martyrs, I have definitely. Inside, not sure. Maybe. Yeah, I have because that was like a Christmas movie. It's on Christmas, so I have. Huh. Okay, I will find a few others for you, and I will review them, of course. But yeah, I'm so happy that I got to talk about Frontiers because it's time to see which grade it will get. I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. Yeah. A 10 out of 10 for Frontiers. It's not that surprising. Knowing myself, this is exactly the type of film that I love to watch. And especially when it came out, it was, I was like, whoa, this is something different. And it was something different at the time. So it is a really good movie. And if you haven't seen this one, it's my favorite movie from Xavier Gens. Just a bit above Farang, but Farang also amazing. But yeah, I mean, definitely Frontiers, my favorite. Then we have Farang, and then I have seen a few others. Under Paris being okay, but yeah, if you're forced to choose one of his movies, please make it Frontiers. Please watch it, and if you've seen it, let me know in the comments, of course, what you think about Frontiers. And let me know in the comments what you think about all of these movies, because I know a lot of you people have probably seen Under Paris this week. So please let me know. Yes, thank you so much for watching. And if you've made it this far, then please comment a shark emoji just to let me know. And don't forget to like this video and also subscribe. Yes, help me reach 2,000 subscribers and just, pump up my channel a bit by subscribing. And yeah, thank you all so much, and I hope you will have an amazing week ahead of you. See you at the next one. Bye.